be somebody's mother. Be kind to your friends from the swamp, where the weather is cold and damp. Be kind to your friends at the pond, for that goose may be some bird's brother. Be kind to the frogs and those with the fins, so they'll want you to come back again. Be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck may be somebody's mother. Be kind to your friends from the swamp, where the weather is cold and damp. Now you may think it's the end. Well, it is.
One afternoon, Duck, Oliver, and Rosie were waiting in their sheds for the drivers to collect them. "I wonder what we will be doing this afternoon," said Duck. "I've had quite enough excitement for one day," said Oliver. Rosie and Duck looked at him. "Why?" they asked. "Because I saw a monster today," he announced. Duck and Rosie gasped in disbelief. "Monsters have strong teeth, so can eat engines. Oh!" Oliver added notably. Rosie wasn't quite sure whether to believe Oliver or not. However, the next day she'd just left the station with the coaches. When she saw an enormous animal standing beside the line. It wasn't like any animal she had ever seen before. It was so large that it was bigger than a bus, and had a great big head with a set of teeth. "I wonder what that is," Rosie thought to herself. Then she remembered the conversation she'd had with Oliver the day before. "That must be Oliver's monster," she thought. She looked at the strange animal again. It wasn't opening its mouth to eat something, as Oliver had described. After some consideration, Rosie decided that the monster must be asleep. Her coaches were chatting noisily as usual. "Shh!" said Rosie in a loud whisper. "You might wake the monster." "Monster? What's a monster?" asked the coaches. "Don't you mean it?" "Yes, I do," said Rosie, whispering firmly. "They eat naughty cabbages, you know, like Thomas said." The coaches were silent for the rest of the journey. At the top station, Rosie drew to a halt. She was met by the fat controller who was waiting for her. "Oh, sir," piped up Rosie excitedly, "you'll never guess what I've just seen in the field." "No time for that now, Rosie," the fat controller interrupted. "I have another job for you. There is an emergency." "Whatever could it be?" wondered Rosie and the driver. "Hurry now, there's no time to lose," continued the fat controller. "I would like you to take a flat truck to the middle of the wood for special train." But sir," said Rosie earnestly, What about my passengers? I've already arranged for Thomas to take them, insisted the fat controller. Now be quick, Rosie. I'm depending on you. With that, the coaches were uncoupled and shunted into a siding, whilst Rosie and his driver went immediately to collect the flat truck. When they reached the woods, Rosie's driver called out to a signalman who was waiting for them. "Where are we to go with the flat truck?" he asked. The signalman shouted his reply and pointed. "But that's where the monster is," said Rosie anxiously. "And he might not be asleep this time." How the signalman chuckled when he heard this. "Don't worry, Rosie," he said. "It won't eat you. It's not really a monster. It's only a model dinosaur. It looks real, but it's just made of wood and plaster, like what Thomas saw." "Wood and plaster? Dinosaur?" Rosie felt a little reassured by this. "And it doesn't eat metal," the signalman continued laughing. "Only meat." Rosie chugged along happily through the woods. "What's a dinosaur?" she asked. She'd never heard of a dinosaur before. She wondered if it might be an animal you would find in the desert, or in the Indian jungle. "It's a prehistoric animal which lived millions of years ago," explained the driver. "They don't exist any longer," he continued. "Except in museums." "Oh, that's all right then," said Rosie. "Oliver said it was a monster which ate engines. He told me and Duck the other day in the engine shed when we were waiting to be taken out. I wasn't sure whether to believe him or not," Rosie continued. "But he seemed so sure of himself. I'll have to find a way to pay him back." The driver laughed. "Well, you don't need to worry about it now, Rosie. That dinosaur is an exhibit for a new show in Orford," he said. "The lorry carrying it broke down, so we've got to take it instead." "How exciting," said Rosie, starting to understand at last. "So that's why we needed the flat truck." When they reached the woods, 3 workmen were busy. "Look at those men," called Rosie. The workmen had climbed carefully onto the side of the dinosaur and were fixing strong chains on the model. When they'd secured the chains tightly, 2 men climbed down from the dinosaur, leaving the foreman balanced on the dinosaur's back. He looked up and made a hand signal to something in the sky. At that moment, Rosie heard a whirring sound. He looked up to see that Budgie, the little helicopter, had come to help too. "Hello, Budgie," she peeped. "Have you come to help me with the monster? I mean, dinosaur?" "Yes, I have, Rosie," laughed Budgie. "Actually, a dinosaur is a monster. Anyone can make one up." Rosie didn't think a monster could be anything. "Oh, I didn't think a monster could be anything." As Budgie hovered carefully above the dinosaur, he lowered a hook down to the workman below. The workman caught the hook and then fastened it to the chains round the dinosaur. Then, at a signal, Budgie lifted the model very slowly and very carefully. Up and up it hovered, slowly rising from the ground. Rosie had to laugh. "Oh, Budgie," chuckled Rosie. "You do look funny." "Just you wait until you have to pull the dinosaur back to Orford," Budgie replied. "Then you look even funnier." Budgie carried the dinosaur off the ground for a minute, then to Rosie's waiting truck. Then very gently he lowered it down onto the flat bed of the truck. There was a jolt as it came to land safely. Then the workman made sure it would not slip during the journey by tying it with strong chains. "Peep, peep," whistled Rosie brightly. "The Dinosaur Express is ready to row." When everything was secure, Rosie set off. She was surprised to find that the dinosaur was very light, so she had an easy run. The ponies who were in the woods ran to wave as she passed by with an unusual load. "Hey, who's that? She's pink, like me." "That's Rosie, Starlight." "I'll be the only engine in the shed to have carried a dinosaur," she thought. "That should keep Henry quiet for a day or two." It was certainly one of the strangest loads she had ever been asked to carry. And it was causing quite a stir. En route, at the river gorge, they met Oliver coming in the opposite direction. "Time to pay Oliver back," thought Rosie to herself. Huh? Poor Oliver did look frightened when he saw what Rosie was carrying on a truck. "Rosie," he said in a trembly voice, "there is a monster on your back. Watch out." Rosie laughed. "Don't worry, Oliver," she boasted. "Your monster won't eat me. I've tamed him and trained him not to eat pink engines. He still eats ones that are green, though," she added mischievously. "Oh, Oliver replied. "Don't see many of those round here." And he scuttled off, terrified, to tell Duck.
Silly Oliver.
Rosie arrived at the station in Orford to see a crowd of ponies who were waiting for her. They all started to cheer and wave when they saw Rosie and her unusual cargo. The Fat Controller was there too, and the breakdown train was standing close by. Rosie did feel special. "What a reception!" she thought proudly. "I shall have to carry prehistoric passengers more often." "Mind that, girls? Oh, where have they gone? Oh, there they are." Rosie pulled up next to the breakdown train. She could guess what might happen next. "1, 2, 3, lift!" ordered the Fat Controller. Carefully, the breakdown crane lifted the model dinosaur from Rosie's flat truck and over to the nearby gardens. The huge model animal came to rest with a thump. Soon the model was transported safely to the exhibition site. It took its place with the other dinosaurs in a wonderful prehistoric scene. Thanks to Rosie and Budgie, the star attraction was in place just in time. Now everything was ready for the grand opening. Rosie could hardly believe her eyes when she went past that day. She'd never seen such an extraordinary collection of strange beasts. There was a long neck, 3 horns, and a little T-Rex. "Somehow, Rosie," laughed her fireman, "I don't think Oliver will be coming to visit." After such an exciting day, it was time to leave the show and go back to the shed. "It's a funny thing," said Rosie. "I know my dinosaur's just a model, but I could have sworn he was giving me a funny look." "I think you're right," said the driver. He gave the fireman a nudge. "It must be because he's a Dooyuhuntosaurus." And Rosie and the driving fireman laughed all the way home.
Be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck may be somebody's mother. Be kind to your friends from the swamp, where the weather is cold and damp. Be kind to your friends at the pond, for that goose may be some bird's brother. Be kind to the frogs and those with the fins, so they'll want you to come back again. Be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck may be somebody's mother. Be kind to your friends from the swamp, Well, the weather is cold and damp.